guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be doing part 2 of making paints from makeup. The paints have somewhat dried. They're still a little soft underneath. You can feel it a little soft underneath, but for the most part they're dry. So being that I'm going to go back to work tomorrow, I decided to just do the video today instead of having to wait until my next off, which is probably going to be at the end of the week. So best I do it today. And if you missed part 1 of this series, I'll probably link it in the description below so you can check that out. So the premise of this, before we get into the premise of what this is all about, let's get those disclaimers out of the way and then hop into it. I live near a major highway here in the country of Belize, so you will hear those motor vehicles in my background. Where I live, there's also a lot of wild birds. You may hear them calling, chirping, and crying in the background. And thirdly, I have dogs. I have dogs. My neighbors have dogs. So if anyone comes in this neighborhood, you will hear those dogs, including my own, start barking. And with that, I get back to my regular schedule. Short disclaimer, I had an allergic attack, an allergic episode. If you would have seen my previous video, because today is actually video 3. I'm trying to get as much content as I can in for the month of March. And I had an allergic attack during video 2. I did take my medication. I did rested some. But one of the side effects of the medication is not only extreme thirst, but also drowsiness. So I'm fighting some sleepiness right now. And I'll try as much as possible to make my words clear, and I'll talk as carefully as I possibly can so we can go through this series. Okay, as you can see here, I have my swatch reference all gridded out. I also have a little illustration here, and I'll probably bring in this closer for you to see. And I'm also using the back end to this, which is where I had the Paper Fashion watercolor making set here. So I'm just using the back end of this. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be swatching these out up here on the back end of this, and then I'll be swatching them here. And here we'll also do some color mixing to see the strength of this palette and what variety of colors we can get. Okay, so let's go into the time lapse, guys. While this is drying up, now that we have seen the strength of this palette, I think it's a pretty decent color mixture combination. I mean, the colors are particularly nice. I love the blue that is created with this number 2 and number 7, nice, rich, and dark. It's a pretty good mix. I'm able to get a dark tone here when I mix all 3 colors together. So yeah, this is a pretty good palette. I kind of like the colors that I've chosen. So now that we're finished with the palette, and we see the strength of it, hey guys, if you think this is a pretty good palette, let me know in the comments below what do you think of my palette. If you don't think it's a pretty good palette either, please let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments. So now let's get all color up, shall we? observations I made from making these paints from makeup. Observation 1, they're not particularly very shiny, even though the makeup powder themselves have in mica. They're not particularly very shiny. Observation number 2, the paints are kind of pasty. It has like this pasty feeling to it when you put it on the brush. Observation 3, it doesn't smudge. As you can see, they're pretty stationary on this paper, so there's very little smudging at all. So it's really good. Observation 4, I don't know why I'm listing them all. First of all, I should say that I don't think that these are particularly light fast, because I don't think makeup is designed to be light fast. So I will not be doing this in a painting and selling it to someone, because these are just makeup. But it does have this pasty kind of feel. It also feels like eyeshadow. There's an after feeling of it like eyeshadow. You know how eyeshadow has that very pasty, I would say icky, because I'm not a particularly big fan of makeup, but it does have that very pasty kind of feel. It also have that feeling within the, after making it into watercolor paints, it also keeps that pasty feeling. So it's something, if it's something that you can overcome, no problem, go for it. Make watercolor paints from your makeup and experiment with it. I think it's a fun activity. I will probably use these colors again, because I really appreciate the color mixes that I'm able to get with these. As you can see here, I played with them a little bit in this butterfly illustration. And all in all, I did have a fun experience. I had so much fun that I honestly couldn't wait to make this video. So guys, let me know what you think of this in the comments below. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.